Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another fun-filled episode here with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast as we embark upon what will be another great time and episode this morning. And so, yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left some, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back. And for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so, thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that have taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, via Facebook as well on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast page, on Instagram at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, again on IG at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and Jones, and our guest for this morning, Mr. Simon Ebeta. Today is October 28th of 2023, and we have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw the Texas Rangers and Arizona Diamondbacks both come back from 3-2 deficits in order to advance to the World Series, in which we had a great game one last night. And Simon, we've been talking about baseball. We've been talking about this October Magic, and so many people. We asked the question of who was the hottest hitter. Nobody mentioned Adolis Garcia, but yet we mentioned Cal Schwarber, we mentioned Yordan Alvarez, we mentioned Jose Altuve. But this guy, Adolis Garcia, he has been on a streak for the last 15 or 16, it's 17 now, postseason games, to where he's had a hit. And so him and the guy on the other side, Marte, for the Arizona Diamondbacks, these are two of the hottest hitters in baseball, in which Adolis Garcia delivered and hit a game-winning homer to send the Texas Rangers to a game-one victory yesterday. And so it was fascinating to see, and it looks like it will be a great World Series. We also saw the NBA season kick off with a great slate of NBA matchups that included the Los Angeles Lakers, Phoenix Suns, Boston Celtics, and Milwaukee Bucks. Game time, definitely, just to name a few. On the other hand, we additionally witnessed the announcement and retirement of the great soon-to-be Hall of Fame manager Dusty Baker, and witnessed literally one of the biggest, and I mean literally one of the biggest NBA rookie debuts since 2003 of the great LeBron James, Frenchman Victor Wembanyama. And so, introducing our guest for this morning, Mr. And Simon. Let me know if I'm getting this right. Simon Ebeta.
That's close. That's way better than I've ever heard.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Simon is currently engaged to be married, lady. So sorry. And also is a father to a young king. Simon loves to shoot darts, is a lifelong Chicago Cub and New England Patriots fan. Therefore, he bleeds red and blue, and is a Chicago Cubs season ticket holder. Sorry again, ladies. But he also sees red as he is indeed a Chicago Bulls fan. But most of all, Simon is a general, and he is a big supporter of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. So we thank you for joining us this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. And so good morning again to you, sir. How are you this morning?
I'm good, feeling good, ready to get into some sports talk.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Yes. And so with that being said, introducing my brother and one of my partners on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Ask me after this first topic.
Okay. Additionally, introducing our brother, Mr. N. Jones. Mr. N. Jones, good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Ready to talk some sports.
Fantastic. So, yes, keep in mind last weekend and our and what is we we're kicking off our weekend by giving our to New England Patriots. Lamar made the pull thing in the Bills. So I just what can we are making NFL. So the last week pulled off one of the biggest upsets.
All right, did he freeze?
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely did.
Okay, so all right, so I'll I guess finish where he left off for now. So yeah, basically last week we all picked Buffalo to beat New England. But basically with that one, I pretty much stated like, please don't let Buffalo lose this game, because if so, we leading off with today just because of how, in a sense, how fluky the Buffalo Bills have been, and I guess how New England has looked for the most part this year so far, and until that game. So before I even get into my rant, I'm gonna let the New England fan go here first. So I guess, what are your thoughts with this game? What are your thoughts in general with the Patriots this year? What like just tell me how you feel, Simon.
So let me start with the Bills real quick.
By all means.
Dude, the Bills have such high expectations, like Super Bowl expectations. But and I feel like this happens every year for the past couple of years, they always play to their opponent's level. Like, they never just go out there and just really give it to the team. They always play to their opponent's level. And unfortunately, we got the best of them for Bills fans. I was happy. But as far as like the season's going, I mean, it's weird because, when you're a Patriots fan, you expect nothing but playoffs and Super Bowl hopes. And that's what having Tom Brady for almost 20 years does to you. So, it's a little disappointing. Mac Jones, I don't think he's a guy, but it's also tough because at the same time is Bill Belichick losing his touch with the game. Do I believe that? I don't think so. But it's definitely a lot of people saying, hey, maybe Bill Belichick's got to go. Maybe it's his time. He's the greatest coach for a reason. I don't think it's him. I don't think Mac Jones is a guy. I think he's a great temporary fill. But it's also the expectations that are on Mac Jones for coming behind one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. Those are big shoes to fill. So there's definitely a lot of pressure on his shoulders to be great. And I think it shows a lot of the time.
Yeah. This is true. Just curious, by the way. Thank you, brother. Yes, iron sharp as iron. Just curious, what are your thoughts from your team this season, and what issues do you feel you guys are having? And are there any positive signs that you see from this team that could be positive going forward?
Our defense. I mean, you got Gonzalez. He's young, but I mean, he's injured right now. Judon's hurt too. But our defense is young, and our defense is always going to be stout, tough, and that's always been something good to look at. Offensively wise, I truly do not believe Mac Jones is a guy. I think he's a bridge to the next guy. But I honestly think like this season, like just watching him, and sometimes he looks very tentative to make throws. Like he just He's like, I'm like, dude, just throw the ball, let it rip. And sometimes you could tell you see those games where he's just letting it rip and he looks good. But
Yeah.
you got to have that consistent basis, and he's not showing the consistency. And just don't. Me personally, I'm not a Mac. I'm a Mac Jones fan because he's on the Patriots. But if we could replace him, I am with it. I'm 100% for it.
Mm,
And we need weapons on the offense. Like this whole not having any wide receivers that you can't name. That's no, cannot do that.
Oh wow! So literally last week, when we were doing we talked about a number of things last week, and one of the things that Jamar mentioned, which is why he's laughing right now, is he asked us the question, and Ian answered it for him. Give us a wide receiver that was a true number one, outside of having a slot, like Mr. Elderman and Wes Walker, but a true number one. And Ian stated since we were at Morgan Park together back in 2007, which is obviously scoring some years ago, truly had a number one receiver. And so that goes to show you the Patriots don't like to spend money.
Oh no, at least not on their offense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. And so do you think that's an issue with the Patriots, that they don't like to spend money? And due to that, I would imagine though, right, that being the Patriots and the historic franchise that you are now with all these Super Bowl championships, all that success, that you could definitely attract some people. Here's our biggest problem: we can't attract people just because they might be scared of Chicago, bro. Like really, seriously. But on the other hand, like with New England, you guys have a great history here, so I'm sure you can attract some talent. Do you think that it's the money when they're sitting in that office room that New England's trying to get? Bill Belichick, he's a master of that, trying to get a bang for his buck, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely understand that. I don't know if money's necessarily the issue. The whole Patriot way, where
Okay.
you come, it's a serious tone. Just listening to other sports podcasts and hearing football players talk about being in New England and the difference between New England and going somewhere else is just like the mentality. Like you have to be willing to just focus on football and be there. And I think a lot of players, like it's a new age. It's a younger age of sports all around, where players just outside the sport, they want to have fun. Inside the sport too, like you see it on football, they want to have fun. They're grittying out there. How many times do you see? I mean, obviously Mac Jones tried his best, and that's another. I don't want to team. He can't grit. That boy needs to stop. But yeah, they try and have fun, but I mean, it's like sometimes you look at Bill Belichick and that dude don't smile. It's almost like it's frowned upon, and so sometimes that gets people away from it. So
Yeah. Yep. Guys, and Jamar, any questions or thoughts for Simon, or any thoughts, etc., who pulled off the biggest upset since Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson in the 1984?
I
For the
do actually.
WBC. Go ahead, Ian.
So, do you think Mac Jones is the answer at quarterback? Do you think he's the next franchise quarterback for the next 10 years? Or is it a thing where he may just fit Bill's system the best as of right now?
he could be a franchise quarterback for another team. I really honestly do not think he's the answer in New England. His indecisiveness,
Smart man.
the turnovers, and like I said, there's times where he shows flashes of being good, and then there's times like, why is he still playing? Why aren't we throwing in a backup? Like last year when Zappy came in,
Yep.
and he lit the Patriots on fire. Like the fans were excited, and then a week later, the dude, he looked like trash against the Bears. It happens, but I mean, for someone like, sometimes you need those little sparks, and it's just, why not try it or something? And who knows, could Mac Jones have a turn? Yes. Will I be there to support him? If he leads us to a Super Bowl, yes, I will. But I mean, I just do not believe he's the answer. I just think he's the piece to the next one. I think the next quarterback that comes in, I think maybe he'll be the answer for us.
Okay. Yep. Jamar, bro, you got any questions for Simon about the New England Patriots?
No, I mean, I don't, because we at this point we know who the Patriots are. My beef is with the other team they played. I'm just
100% agree with you, bro.
man.
They
barely
almost blew it on Thursday night against the
barely
Bucks.
won. I was
Yeah,
just about to say that barely won 2 days ago.
yeah. So I'm happy to let this out. I'm sorry, I can't hold it any longer. So yeah, Buffalo Bills, like Simon mentioned earlier, like, you know, last couple of years supposed to be this team, this Super Bowl team, this elite team. I kind of like went on a slight tangent last week about it, but it's like, look, they, like, even like you mentioned a couple of days ago, had Chris Godwin actually turned around a half second early and actually paid attention, they probably would have lost that game too on that Hail Mary throw. Not to mention that they, you know, should have beaten the New England Patriots, but that was a whole debacle within itself. You lose to Jacksonville overseas. The Giants should have probably beat you, and that was a debacle within itself. And you lose to the Jets week 1 without Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson that was getting ready to get canceled from his Disney Channel show. So it's like, look, like, I understand they're 5-3. I understand that you know, Josh Allen's supposed to be this guy, and I understand that they have all these expectations, but it's not showing. It's really not. Josh Allen, yeah, he has over 2,100 yards passing. He has 17 touchdowns, but he got 8 picks and 2 fumbles. Like this man's steady tearing the ball over, especially in the red zone. This team is supposed to be so explosive on offense, and it's lackluster at times. This team's supposed to be so like elite on defense, but I don't see it half the time. They
Right.
like they are truly looking like a first round exit. Like, I don't even, like, last week I called them the 4th best team in the conference. They might actually be the 5th. I don't know. They keep going down my rankings. I don't see it. Like I said, like, even though they beat the Dolphins, I feel like the Dolphins are still a better team on a neutral field. I really do. And I understand the Dolphins go up when they go up in the cold area. The Dolphins don't look the same, but yeah, let's see what happens when they go down to South Beach. Let's see what happens when they actually play on a neutral site. I still feel like the Dolphins are the best team in that division right now. I don't see it. I don't see Buffalo. And Brandon, and last thing I say, you know, I was on the Bills Mafia a couple years ago. I was buying the hype. I was getting ready to jump into a table myself.
Simon, about the Bills, couldn't tell him nothing
At all. I was ready to get like join the Bills Mafia and get slammed through a table. I was ready, but I'm glad I spared my back because it ain't worth it no more. It's not worth it. So yeah, I'm done. Like, New England did what they were supposed to do. Jeez.
Yeah. We sit there and think about it, guys. The Bills have escaped a number of games this year where they could have lost, and they've won a few that they could have lost. And they've lost some that they just lost, period. It wasn't close. And so Buffalo is a very interesting team. They are not the team we've seen them and known them to be, and they have not met the expectations that a lot of us have for them. But, you know, it's early, you know, Jamar, they're halfway through the season. So the one positive we can all say as sports fans, guys, is this. Buffalo is not playing the best football, but the good thing about it, Simon, is that they have another 9 games left. And so with that being said, can Buffalo again catch that stride? And, you know, has October is for baseball. Could Buffalo, you know, be a team that can catch fire, Jamar, at the right time? Right now, they don't look like it, but, you know, teams generally start off slow. Them generally be the teams that end up in the Super Bowl. And so right now, there's not much of a positivity for the Buffalo Bills, but they're here. And so, yes. All right. And so, fellas, let's now my NBA slate of games. And so let's talk to the NBA. I want to ask you, fellas, which teams look great? Which teams look concerning? Okay. Hence, this general NBA question is relevant, y'all, for any NBA games you have seen since the season kicked off this week. It could be, for instance, y'all, the Bucks and Damian Lillard. For instance, Damian Lillard has gotten people now looking want to change their title picks based off of how this man just went off against Philly. And I felt that Philly is actually a really good damn team. And it looks like, literally, Simon, that they don't miss James Harden. It sounds crazy, but I think Jamar N, they don't even need him. And I feel like he's going to mess up their chemistry. They were balling Philly, and they play fast, and they can score. And Tyrese Maxey, oh, my goodness. I love that brother. He's a could it be also Victor Wembanyama's debut? This guy has an 8-foot wingspan, and he blocks the sun. So with that being said, it's very hard to get up shots. Ask Andrew Wiggins, ask Steph Curry, literally, they were playing Dallas the other night, and Kyrie Irving, couldn't get up shots. But yeah, Luka Doncic happened in that game, and so Luka showed out. That was great to see. But Victor Wembanyama had a great fourth quarter. AD's, y'all, absence in the second half of the Nuggets. 17 points in the first half, 0 points in the second half. And then he bounced back versus Phoenix. And so Jamar might say, yeah, it was against Phoenix. Without Booker and without Beal. On the other hand, LeBron's minute restrictions. He's supposed to have minute restrictions, but he had to come through and save the day against Phoenix the other day. James Harden's absence, or even y'all new look, Oklahoma City Thunder, or even our Chicago Bulls, y'all, whom last night had a heroic shot made by the great Alex Caruso. And so the question again, fellas, what you look concerned and what thoughts do you have for the NBA? And so with that being said, Jamar, we're going to start with you, end with you, and then we follow up with our guests. Jamar, show floor.
Yeah. Just in general, it's great to see the NBA back playing meaningful games again. This is part of the reason why I love the month of October. So a couple teams that definitely, caught my eye for the better. Orlando don't look too bad so far. Oklahoma City, Chet Holmgren, like, we forget that, he was, the second overall pick last year's draft and didn't get a chance to play. And I think he will be up there with Wemby for probably, rookie of the year, honest, because that man is he's a game changer for the Thunder. So that's something, so far that I've noticed for the better. Wemby himself just being out there, like what he did last night for them to, I guess, get back in the game, go in overtime and finish the deal. Like, that was, impressive in itself, even though he's not even playing the minutes that we want him to play yet. Yep. So I definitely want to sprinkle in our Bulls because I would say probably a good 6 to 7 quarters that they played so far this year looks pretty terrible, and they just happen to have great comeback last night.
Right?
Yeah. That just happened because heck, at one point when I saw them down 17, I went to go do something constructive with my life, and and the fact that I went to check back and I happened to see the last play, I'm like, okay, all right, maybe it is a little fight in them, but the fact that they had to have a players only meeting after the first game, that's alarming within itself. But all in all, I don't know, man. So far so good. No complaints here. But the last thing I will say this, and I'll let the next person go. I'll say the one team that basically, let's just say in general, in the Western Conference, we talked about how deep that is. Like, it's really deep. And you definitely do not want to get off to a terrible start early on, because I don't know if you can actually play catch up this year. Memphis. Without Ja Morant, those first 25 games, that's going to be very critical. They already, they don't have a win yet. So that's something to keep an eye on, because as we know, when Ja was there last year, when they was actually playing and healthy, that team was, dangerous. So that's the one that's blaring to me so far.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And, bro, Any thoughts from NBA opening week? Any teams that's concerning? Any team that's looked good? Anything that stood out? What's your thoughts from NBA opening week?
A lot of thoughts. So I start number one with these terrible Bulls. Bulls need to blow it up. Like Jamar stated, for us to have a players only meeting game one, the home opener, that speaks volumes, and we got to kick the coach out. And I don't know, that's just not a good look. That don't make me or shouldn't make any of the fans excited for the season. Game one. Number two, the Phoenix Suns, uh, Bradley Beal and Devin Booker hurt already. How? They ain't
Right.
even
That was.
played.
I'm like, damn, low management already. Like, come on, man. It's the second game.
Like, come on, dude. Like, man, I'm like, oh my God. Say, see, they ain't even gonna play. They ain't even gonna play enough games together to eat. We ain't gonna go see them play enough games together to see how good they are. 'Cause all three of them gonna be hurt.
Let me
Here
ask you
we go
this
with
though,
this.
and do you think possibly though, fellas, that the Lakers were, I mean, that the Suns were just doing that so that they can see how they would fare against the Lakers, being that they may be Simon looking later down the road just now,
No, no
and
fool.
that they're
No, no fool
resting
is
them
hurt.
just to see, all right, how can we do? Okay, you don't think that? Okay,
No, man, fools was hurt. I'm
they were
like,
hurt for real.
dude, what you break your fingernail before the game? Like, come on, man. Like, this is unacceptable. Primetime game, you know why y'all on TV. Everybody want to see y'all up against AD, Braun. Braun playing in his 82nd year of basketball. Y'all can't get it together game one? Now, come on, man.
Hey,
That's
they
unacceptable.
they must have got that memo where you got to pay at least 65 games to be up for award. So
Yeah, so keep it up. Keep it up. You ain't gonna be on nothing. You're not gonna get a
Right
contract
now,
extension. You're not gonna get the max. You're not gonna be on anything, bro. Like, come
right
on.
now, they are on track to play 41 games this season. Get it?
No, man, for
bruh.
real. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, really? I looked at my phone. I'm getting excited about the guy. I said, oh man, what's the name of them play? Katie and Book and Bradley Gill play tonight. I think I was at work, middle of the day. They ain't out. How? Come
Dude, that's
on,
lower
man.
your morale at work. You like, I don't even want
Yeah, man. I'm like, I ain't
your
Right,
day
excited
just
to
became
watch it no
longer.
more.
right,
I think I'll
exactly, Chris.
probably watch
Look,
half
Jamar
of it.
sent the wrong email.
Yeah, man. I'm
Bruh.
like, come on,
Dude,
dude.
his day was flying by until he heard that news. The hours started getting longer.
Man, dude. I'm like,
Breaks
bro,
were
what is
shorter.
going on? The Los Angeles Lakers are the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, they're okay, but I mean, AD. So my theory on AD is
Uh,
maybe AD can't put. Okay, let me make sure I say this right. So I think AD is a great player, but I think with him being in New Orleans and us not really seeing him play all the time on TV and not really being in the spotlight, he can put up a 50-point game and then 50-point game, almost 20 rebounds, and then come the next game and put up 15 points and nobody really notice it. But with him being on the Lakers now, everything and even playing with LeBron now, everything is magnified. So
everything's magnified. Yeah,
um yeah, so with them talking about they wanted to play Denver, they couldn't wait to play Denver, and then for him to go score 17 points in the first half, he was balling, and then to come out and score nothing, that's unacceptable with the second half. I seen Kendrick Perkins was, talking about the altitude and all this other crap. I'm like, those are excuses, bro. Y'all played them last year. They swept y'all.
swept.
They've been
Come
talking.
on, come on.
Yeah, they swept y'all. They've been talking crazy all summer. They haven't even been talking about the team they played in the finals. They've been talking about y'all. So this is kind of like a new, I guess, little rivalry brewing, if you say. But I mean, it ain't really a rivalry if they swept them. So that wasn't a good look in my opinion. I mean, he did come back and play good against Phoenix, but we are come on now. It was only KD. Um, the Bucks. This might be a little biased. I know Jamar might love this take, but Bucks look damn good, and Chris Middleton's not even back yet. He's not even back. For Dame to come out and score 39 the first game in his debut, and Giannis basically giving the ball like, come on, man, this what we got you here for. Take the game over. Send us home, man. He did just that. That was a good sight to see. So they looking pretty good. Boston looks good. It's a lot of teams that look good. Even like OKC looks good.
They do.
Um, Wemby the next one? I have to sit down and watch him like play myself, but from the highlights and from what I've been watching on the sports shows, is Wemby gonna be the next one? I'm hearing he's like a 7 foot Kevin Durant, so I'm gonna have to really sit down and watch him play. But it was good to see basketball back on TV. It was good to see. Very good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good morning, Tiana. Good morning. East. Simon, your thoughts, bro? Maybe opening week.
I'm just gonna go right over it. I'm not even gonna talk about the Bulls. We'll just leave it at that.
I feel you.
Not even it's man. That players only meeting, dude. That made me think, okay, is it the players or is it Billy Donovan? And now you're starting to think maybe it's the coach, because if you can't keep your team together like that and they're already having a players only meeting after the first 48 minutes of the season.
That's
It's
alarming.
That's wild. That's very wild. But I think since last year, maybe even the year before, I think they should have started trying to blow this team up. It just, I don't know, man. But as far as the rest of the NBA, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't catch that many games. I definitely did keep my eye on that Boston game, and then I was watching a little bit of that Dallas San Antonio game. Boston looks good.
They do.
If Porzingis could stay healthy, they will definitely be. I don't know who you said earlier is going to win the East. Who said Milwaukee was going to win the East, but she is wrong. Boston will definitely win that East if Porzingis could stay healthy.
Okay. You must Milwaukee's gonna. I love it.
No, he's reading comments.
Right.
Here's the thing.
We can literally sign. I feel you because let me just. I watched that Heat. Y'all watched the Heat and the Celtics last night, and as y'all know already, as sports fan, even you, Tiana, Eric, etc. Miami's a damn tough team. They ain't gotta have superstars. It's a system there. They gave the Celtics everything they could, y'all, to the last few seconds. And it took the difference really was exactly who you said, Simon. It was Chris Porzingis this time. It was the fact that he was able to use those arms, rebound the ball, and shoot the three. He had a really good game. He was the savior of them. I just want to point that out. So go ahead.
Oh yeah. That and then who else was Milwaukee looks really, really good. But it looked a couple times like and I'm sure it's just, getting into the flow, getting used to playing with each other. But there was a few times where it looks like, just Giannis was holding on to the ball too long, and you could kind of tell Lillard just is like, you give me the ball, like, let's get this offense moving. Right. Sometimes that offense look a little more fluid with Giannis off the court, but I mean, you're not going to bench Giannis. He's one of the best athletes in the game. So, but I think that's going to take a little time over there. But I wouldn't be surprised either if they did win the East. That is a really, really good team. But my pick is definitely Boston. Boston hands down. And then Western Conference, Denver's going to repeat. I'm just going to say that now. Denver's repeating. No one's going to stop them. Jokic looks too good. The man's at practice watching horse races, and then he's making AD look like a cop.
Man, I agree. Right? I agree. I totally agree. Denver, they back like they never left. They pick it right back up.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And LeBron and AD did not play that game like they was, oh, we can't wait. We can't wait.
Yeah.
They didn't play that mentality.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
I didn't even know. Not even sure AD showed up to that game, to be honest.
Not in the second
So,
half. No, he did not at all.
no. But
Right.
that's
Go ahead, Simon. What were you gonna say, bro?
I was gonna say that's all I got. I wish I would have caught more of the, was it Golden State and Sacramento played last night, but I was definitely too busy watching the World Series.
Right. Yes. Big baseball fan here. Yes. So
I definitely do want to see what Sacramento's like because they made a lot of noise last year.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see what that young team's going to do this year.
So I did watch pretty much majority of that Sacramento Warriors game. And I can definitely tell you that Sacramento team is not a fluke. If anybody had thoughts that team was a fluke from last year, it's not a fluke because I feel like De'Aaron Fox has definitely turned the corner and is putting himself into that, pretty much knocking on the door for that elite like point guard status in this league because his game now compared to when he first came in the league is night and day. And just his improvement from last year to what I saw last night, like he's almost to the point where he's unguardable. He's almost there.
yeah,
Because that
like
3-point shot is actually not bad at all anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Tiana, you stated that correct. Denver's taking it all anyways. Yeah. It's interesting. Eric Webb stated he likes the Lakers. Tiana states she don't believe in the Lakers and truly don't understand the hype. I can see her point. I can see Eric's point because LeBron, when he plays court, it's a different dynamic. I just think the Lakers, their biggest problem, they missing somebody that can kind of make Jokic work because AD ain't it. He's just not it. He's a great defender, though. That's crazy, right? AD's a great defender, but he's just not big enough to deal with Jokic. And do the Lakers need just one more big man to try to at least contain Jokic enough? And if they have that, then are they a different thing?
I don't know. Maybe. AD is a great defender, but maybe Jokic is just. Maybe he's just that dude because I don't think nobody could stick him in the league.
This is
and
true.
if you think about it, AD is more athletic than him, but he's just Jokic. He's the best player in the NBA right now.
Dude, this is one of those to where, like, you know how nowadays a lot of the league is built on athleticism, and this is not that. This man is skilled. Like, when the last time we actually seen somebody like skilled, crafty, honed there, like they're at their peak, just like put in the work to actually be who they are. Like, you don't see that nowadays in this league. And so when you actually find somebody that's like fine-tuned and, you know, to their peak to the point where it's like you think you can stop him one way, then they'll come up with something else. You think all right, I figured you out then, then he'll just do something. It's like he has like his arsenal of moves, his arsenal of ability is unmatched.
Unmatched. I was just about to say that. Unmatched. That's the word right on now.
No, it's unmatched. You can't. The only thing you can do is you hope you can contain him. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Try to find somebody to try to contain him enough. Hopefully, your team got to do their part, right? Because if they would have beat them, they would have to do everything right. To hope that they can contain Joker enough to squeak by, which obviously, pretty hard in itself. Yeah, fellas, let us now progress. NBA opening week, great slate games. Battle, who won that? Warriors, Kings, right? What are Warriors?
No, Warriors.
Okay.
Steph Curry in the clutch.
Beautiful. And I want to bring up the Warriors because I watched them against Phoenix. And wow, I don't know if y'all saw that game. That was a great game. It was a fantastic. That was a really good basketball game. Warriors gonna be dangerous, man, like you stated. They're gonna be something very, very interesting. And so I think Phoenix won that first game against Golden State, but Golden State gonna be very interesting going forward. They're gonna be really in. It's gonna be loaded, man. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. It ain't gonna be no days off for nobody. Nobody. The only team they probably can maybe beat is probably the Rockets. But even the Spurs look formidable now with this Victor Wembanyama kid. They look like a different team. They look very different now. And so it ain't gonna be no nights off in the West at all. All right. So Simon, let's quickly ask you about the Chicago Bulls. We know you're a Bulls fan. We gave our Chicago Bulls expectations. We expect this team to be somewhere 7, 8 seed, possibly fighting to play in. Just curious, what are your expectations for the Chicago Bulls in the Eastern Conference this season?
Don't have any this year. I don't want to set any expectations for them. It's just like, honestly, before the season started, maybe same thing. You could see them in a play-in because they didn't. I mean, to me, in my honest opinion, I don't feel like they made any changes. They didn't go out there and get a pure shooter.
Right.
And not a knock on them last night, but you ain't got no choice. But Alex Caruso's got to hit the corner shot to win that game. And yeah, it's a fast break play. So I mean, you don't really have a set play to do it, but you do have a set play. What's it going to be? You're going to have Zach LaVine taking off-balance three-pointer and with two people guarding him, or DeMar DeRozan's going to force a mid-range, and we're just – I don't know, man. Playing is the ceiling. That's as far as I could see them getting to. I don't see them – no.
Right. Yeah.
Billy Donovan's not
Not it.
Nah. I don't see it, man.
Okay.
It's disappointing. It sucks too because I get excited for basketball, and it's a sports are 10 times more fun when your team's doing good or when your team's winning games. Like, think about it. What was it? 2 years ago when Lonzo was healthy and the Bulls were exciting. They were fun to watch. You thought, yeah, you were like, oh, they're gonna win the Eastern Conference. Like, that's the hopes you had. They were going to at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then Lonzo gets hurt. And
been right since then.
So,
right.
Yeah, no. I've got no expectations of them doing good. I could see them just selling players before the trade deadline or something, just trying to work something out.
Right. Okay. Yep. So that is Simon's expectations for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to see how they fare this season. See red. We definitely see red, even though this morning, but we see red on the Talk podcast. But I feel the Bulls didn't make any changes that could very well come back to bite them. And so, with that being said, let us now progress to some football. Big part of our podcast. NFL reactions and overreactions. And so, how we're going to do this is, Jamar, we're going to go first, and you and Simon. And so work with us as we do our NFL reactions and overreactions. And so, Jamar, is it an overreaction to Brandon Staley's job as the head coach of the LA Chargers becoming more interesting in it?
No, because, I mean, as we all know, he probably shouldn't even be the coach this year based on how last year transpired. I mean, he might be the first coach let go this year, believe it or not. So yeah, every loss is pretty much another notch in the belt. I mean, you have a franchise quarterback, you have talent on pretty much every level of your team, and yet you cannot put it together. So therefore, yeah, he's got to go. And the last thing I'll say is that I'm pretty sure they regret not trying to go get Mike McDaniels. So that's that.
Yeah. And, bro, is it an overreaction to think that the Brandon Staley's coach of the LA are becoming more interesting by the minute?
Oh, no, this is not an overreaction. This team should play in the AFC Championship game every year looking at their roster. I mean, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert. They did have
Derwin
J.C.
James,
Jackson
one
in
of
there
my
as well.
favorite safeties in football. Bosa
Basically,
on the defensive end.
yeah,
Mac
basically the best
Daddy
safety in the game.
rushing.
Yeah, man. Come
By the
on
way,
now.
Mac Daddy. I mean,
Yep, he probably gonna have 6 sacks against us Sunday night. But yeah, man. I mean, this team has been, in my opinion, this team has been underachieving for a long time. You know, this team is loaded on both sides of the ball. You know, the O line is not bad. D line is exceptional. Asante Samuel Jr. secondary is loaded. You know, I don't know. They can't put it together. So I feel like crazy as said, if they lose to was it Tyson Bagent and the Bears this
mm,
weekend, and he better be on the lookout.
mm.
He on the lookout already. It's gonna get real hot if he lose to them Bears Sunday night in
Security,
LA. It's gonna
Right.
get
security not
real
gonna
hot,
let them in
It's
his
already
locker
hot
room
in
though.
LA as it is, right?
man. They might. He lose to them Bears Sunday night. They'll
Mm.
nail him to the cross Monday
It's gonna be
morning.
Oh
desert hot.
man,
It's gonna be desert hot, goddamn
hmm
it, in LA.
his access card gonna be denied when he try to
It,
get in the building
it
on
go.
Monday.
You know how it was green when you accept yourself in the building. It's gonna be red. I'm telling you,
I mean, for real, you mess around, lose to us. Yeah,
to a D3 quarterback, man,
man.
ain't gonna be
Oh
nothing
man, y'all
nice.
say his
We we
access
we
gonna be denied to
we we gonna cost that man his job if he mess around somehow lose to us. I'm just
And I'm
saying.
not even picking us to win. I'm not even picking us to win. But if they win, oh man,
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
wild.
it's gonna be a so bro. It's a good thing that Los Angeles Chargers head coach Brandon Staley's job becoming more interesting by the minute.
No, it's not. It's not. They've been underperforming under him, and just his. No, it's not an overreaction. It's not.
it's just that
It,
simple.
Right,
yeah. I
right.
mean, make the play, make the call at the end of the games to take them risky plays. He doesn't do it all the time, and it's you got to risk it. You can risk it for the biscuit.
I like that. We're gonna steal that one. Risk it for the biscuit. Yeah. Yep. All right. So, Jamar, is it an overreaction that the Miami Dolphins are still tenders rather than tenders? The Philadelphia Eagles.
He says overreaction to think they're still contenders.
Rather than after losing in Philly.
No, I mean there's so I answer it like this. No, they're still contenders. They're still contenders. I mean, Philly. I mean, we just watched Philly go to the Super Bowl last year. Philly was probably a couple plays away from winning the Super Bowl last year. Yeah, Philly from the eye test had a slow start this year, but Philly is still Philly, even though they lost to the Jets. But I mean, that's another story because the Jets are, this day and age, actually starting to come around a little bit. But it's just more so, I think for me with that game, I mean, Philly's run defense is tough. As we know, the Dolphins' offense is explosive. They just, going on the road up there, in the cold and in the northeast of the country. I mean, it's a little different, but nevertheless, no, I still feel like you still have to drop at least 30 to beat this team. And the 2 games they lost, I mean, the team scored, past 30. So there you
go. Okay. Yeah. And
I think the Miami Dolphins are still contenders. They just played a great team in Philadelphia. It's not taking nothing away from Philadelphia. That's a great team in my opinion. I basically think the best team in football right now. So I think Miami's still contenders. So just a little different when you come up. Come up from hot sunny South Florida to Philly. But I think they'll be all right though. I think they'll be all right.
Right. It's interesting though, fellas, that the 2 games that the Dolphins have lost this season have been against. It was the Bills. It was Philly. They were both up north, northeast teams. Kind of colder climates. So, Simon, is it an overreaction, brothers, to think that the Miami Dolphins are still contenders rather than pretenders after losing to the Philadelphia Eagles and Philly this past weekend.
The Patriots fan in me wants to call them pretenders, but they definitely are not. If anything, this game was a measuring stick for them. You're playing a team that just made the Super Bowl, that still has Super Bowl expectations. And they played well. Who knows? This could also be a Super Bowl preview. You could see both teams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is I think the Eagles are good. They're not playing as well as they did last year, but I think they'll get there. But they're still playing winning football.
Right.
The Dolphins, they played a heck of a game. I think they're definitely gonna figure it out. Their coach is not gonna let them just slack off. Like, I like Mike McDaniels. He's great. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
I like his attitude. But I definitely think the Dolphins, I could see them winning our division easily, especially the way the Bills play. I heard that side, Jamar.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I could definitely see the Dolphins winning that division, and just well, you just got to see how they play in this cold weather. They got to get used to it eventually. Turn the AC on, do something, get used to it.
Facts.
AC
Yeah,
69.
true. If they want to win a Super Bowl, right, Simon, they're gonna have to probably go on the road more cold.
Oh yeah,
that might be Kansas City or something like that. All right.
yeah.
Fellas, Jamar, is it an overreaction to think that Chicago Bears should continue to rest quarterback Justin Fields even when he is ready to return to see what they can and will give rookie quarterback Tyson Bagent?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's an overreaction just for the main reason is you have to make a decision on what you're gonna do with Justin Fields. By the end of this year, you have to know. So you have to let him play as many games as he possibly can when healthy so you can evaluate what he's gonna be. But until then, let him get all the rest he needs. I'm curious to see what Agent Bagent does tomorrow night. I mean, I'll say this much. D2 or not, I mean, the man has so many starts under his belt during his college career that it probably maybe the game isn't as fast paced per se as probably Justin, who probably doesn't have nearly as many starts at the time. Just so, because one thing that I noticed from Bagent that he did when he was scrambling, it's something simple, but yet you expect this out of a vet and not somebody that's starting their first game. The fact that he pump faked and got the defender to freeze for him to get the more yards that he needed, just little things like that, it goes a long way. So yeah, for now, it's not overreaction because we got to evaluate Justin Fields, man.
But small.
It is overreaction. Sorry.
Okay, small details. Okay, and okay, yep. And bro, is it an overreaction, as stated, to continue to rest quarterback Justin Fields even when he is ready to return to see what they can and will get out of quarterback Tyson Bagent?
Overreaction. Justin Fields is our franchise quarterback. I guess as of right now, I don't know if they're thinking about heading in another direction, but he don't need no rest. Justin needs to get right back out there now. Because if Bagent wins tomorrow night, then we'll so-called have a quarterback controversy, which I don't think is no controversy. I think Justin is the guy, but maybe Chicago's losing, hope in Justin. So I think, like he said, Jamar says, whenever he's ready to come back, put him out there, let him play as much as he can, evaluate if that's what you like to see. If we gonna stick with Justin through it all, we gonna let him go or what may have you. But I think you're playing for sure.
Right. Yeah. Simon.
I'm gonna go the opposite way of you guys. I don't think it's an overreaction. I think the Bears should see what they have in Bagent. Give it a couple games. I mean, and again, it was the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. Pardon me. But he looked good. That offense looked good. Why not see what you got in the kid? You've had what 2 years of 3 years of Justin Fields. Give the kid a chance. Let him see what he's got. And if it becomes a QB controversy, there's a reason, because Justin the answer. That's all I got to say about that. That's give him a chance, let him work at a couple games, and why not get Justin Fields healthy? It's not like you guys, and no disrespect, because neither is my team, but it's you guys aren't playing for a Super Bowl.
Nope.
And the Bears playing.
The Bears don't. Bears fans do not want to hear that. That's like
Yeah.
Hey,
It's reality.
we're not Cowboys fans. We cool.
Yeah,
yeah. We're not in denial.
yeah. I'm telling you, man. There's some delusional people out there. I'm just, man.
Very.
But when they won the first game, my buddy looked at me and said, he's like, "Hey, 0-4." He was like 0-3 or 0-4 is the most important part to 13-4. And I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, wow.
What?
That's but yeah, no, man. Give Bajan that give him this opportunity. Rest Justin Fields. If it doesn't work out with him, you still have Justin Fields to come back in and play these games. It's a long season ahead. Football's a grind, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that answer, Simon. Yes. So Bears, you might want to be open-minded. If you're listening to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, you might want to be open-minded. All right. Fellas, is it an overreaction, and Jamar, to think that the Cleveland Browns should let quarterback P.J. Walker continue to play as quarterback Deshaun Watson continues to battle injury, even if Deshaun is ready and wants to play, based off of how this team has played as of late without him?
No. So even though I want to say I have no reaction, but by default, I'm going to say it's an overreaction. You know why? Because you have 231 million reasons that you need to put Deshaun Watson out there. I don't care what you did, because at this point, based on how you got him here, you going to play that man until you don't have him anymore, because you basically just set him and his family up for the rest of his life, no matter what. No matter what you get out of him, no matter what he displays on that field, he's set up for the rest of his life. Therefore, since you invested all that money into him, since you became the team in the 11th hour to trade for him out of nowhere to come to Lake Erie to that place to where Joe Kim knows there's nothing but factories there, nobody taking vacations there, and for him to display what he's been playing out there, no, you gonna play that man.
You'll play vacation Cleveland.
Number of factories there, yeah. Ian, bro, is it an overreaction to think that the Cleveland Browns should let quarterback P.J. Walker continue to play as quarterback Deshaun Watson continues to battle injury, even if Deshaun is ready to and wants to play, based off of how this team has played as of late?
I'm with Jamal on this one. Now, granted, I love black quarterbacks. Maybe I'm a little biased. I love that he's getting a chance to play PJ Walker. But, I mean, it's 230 million. I mean, get real. Whenever he's ready to play, he's playing. He don't need to sit either. Play him. Like Jamal said, if they lose all their games with Deshaun Watson, get all $230 million worth and do whatever you want with him after that. But I think Deshaun will be okay. It's just, him sitting out a year and now he's dealing with injury. That's pretty tough to deal with. I think he'll be fine, but no, you need to play.
Right. Got to get that investment. Yeah. Simon, bro, what's your thoughts?
Can you repeat the question again? That way I answer correctly.
So the question is it an overreaction that the Cleveland Browns should let their backup quarterback, P.J. Walker, continue to play as their superstar quarterback, Deshaun Watson, continues to battle injury, even if Deshaun is ready and wants to play? Because the thing is that as of late, Simon, he's been in the media saying, I want to play. But it's either the training staff or somebody saying you're not ready to play. And so
he's been cleared to play.
yeah, and so it's like he's not playing. And even a few weeks ago, out of nowhere, before the game even started, Simon, we were literally talking about the game Saturday morning, thinking that he was going to play. And then we come back the next morning and a rookie quarterback started. And so, and the rookie quarterback he was surprised. He looked like on the field, Simon, he didn't even know he was going to start until like he walked in the stadium. And so, based off of that, like, curious to know, bro, is it an overreaction to think that the Cleveland Browns should let quarterback PJ Walker continue to play as quarterback Deshaun Watson continues to battle some type of injury or something? And so what's your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna agree a little bit with what Jamar said earlier. Like, I don't really have a reaction to this. It's Cleveland, but I mean, the contract, you have to play him. You got to play him, especially for as much as you paid him, and you gave him a fully guaranteed contract. Might as well. But then again, you fall back to it's Cleveland. There's not a lot of success in Cleveland. If you're having success with PJ Walker, why not just keep running? That defense is a force to reckon with too. So
They are.
I think whatever quarterback puts you in the position to get you those W's, that's what you have to go with eventually.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, interesting. All right, and then lastly, go ahead.
I've never heard of a $200 million plus backup quarterback, so that's a little wild.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And so lastly, something funny. And so Jamar, lastly, is it a think that after last week's impressive and dominant win over the Washington Commanders in recent stellar play, that New York Giants quarterback, one of your favorite quarterbacks in football, New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones should give up a portion of his $47 million salary to current backup and now starting quarterback Tyrod Taylor, who has the New York Giants clicking on all cylinders?
So Daniel Jones' name nowadays is called Danny Crimes. Danny Crimes. Just so you know. No. This not an overreaction. So this is what we're gonna do with Daniel Jones' salary. This is what we're gonna do. We definitely gonna give some to Tyrod Taylor. You know, he deserves it because apparently, you know, the offense runs so much better with him. We gonna give some to Saquon Barkley because we know Saquon Barkley pretty much got Danny Crimes paid last year and not himself. And then we're gonna use the rest of that money. We're not even gonna pay Danny Crimes. We're gonna use the rest of that money for them to actually go get some wide receivers. You know, because I'm pretty sure if we ask the average person out here, they can't even name 1.5 receivers on that team. So that's what they need to do. We're not gonna pay Danny Crimes. Get them out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy. I can only think of Sterling Shepard. Yeah, Ian, bro. Is it an overreaction to think that after the recent play of quarterback Tyrod Taylor, that New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones should give up a portion of his $47 million New York penthouse Empire State Building salary to current backup and now starting quarterback Tyrod Taylor?
No, this is not an overreaction. I love Tyrod Taylor. I've been loving Tyrod Taylor since at Virginia Tech. Daniel Jones is Daniel Crimes is not. He's not the answer. They should have gave that money to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley should be the highest paid running back in the league, but that's neither here nor there. No, he's not the answer. Now, do I think Danny Crimes is terrible? Do I think like he just can't play football? No, I don't think that. I think that O-line is terrible. The O-line is trash, and you know it doesn't help their situation. They don't have a number one receiver either. They do have Darren Waller, which is a great asset to that offense, but he's a tight end. He's not a receiver. That's a big difference, you know. And I think we see a similar situation happening in Kansas City, but Kansas City just has great coaching, you know. And Patrick Mahomes, of course, but they need a number one receiver for sure. They need to pay Saquon, but you know they get the money to Danny Dimes, and it's like you got to play him, but to be honest, he might need a new change of scenery. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I think he's all right, but everything in New York is not his fault for sure. That O line, I mean, is it's ridiculous. I mean, they're
Right.
terrible.
Whew. Man, bro, they gave him 47 million. Woo!
Yeah. They could have gave Saquon 20, 25, 30. But the way they disrespect these running backs and the work that they put in is crazy.
Right. Yeah. Simon, bro, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, cut me some of his money. Get some of it. Definitely should have. They definitely should have paid Saquon Barkley. The offense looks completely different with Saquon's out there.
Come on, bro. Like literally, come on. They're a whole different
Look-
football team.
Yeah, look at how they played when Saquon was injured compared to when Saquon is there. It was two different teams.
Different teams.
But Danny Crimes, I like that. I like that. He definitely. I don't know if Tyrod Taylor, their offense looking better with Tyrod. Leave Tyrod in. Danny Crimes is he's not doing it for them. And that offense, and like Ian said, they do have a lot of issues, but I don't know why they paid that man. I still don't get it to this day. I still do not get it.
Maybe
They could've
because
used that
it's New
money.
York, y'all, and it's really expensive to live in New York. And us having little business minds, it's really expensive to live there. So maybe
Man,
that's
I'll be factoring
No,
inflation
I
into
think
this.
no. I think what the problem is almost like, okay, it's almost I'll reference this to like relationships. So it's almost like being with a girl you've been with a while and you know her, and you don't really want to start over. And it's like, well, I'll just stay here, because I'm so used to it. So I feel like that's why they really gave him the money.
So they're
Because they didn't
complacent.
they didn't really want to start over. They didn't want to start over and find another quarterback and go through,
Oh, man.
go through all of that. So they rather
That
pay
is
Danny.
gonna be on the real.
And granted,
this week.
and granted, he did have a good year. The year that they went to the playoffs, he did have a good year. I'm not gonna lie, he did have a good year. That was it 2022 or 2021?
No, that was last year, bro.
Last
They went
year.
to the
It was
second
last
round
year?
last year.
Yeah. So I mean, so he did have a good year. So I guess they were in the like, man, do we pay him or do we start over? But he just took us to the playoffs. So I do see as an organization that's pretty tough. It's like, okay, he just coming off a great year. Maybe things are looking up. But then they turn, I mean, I guess, you give him the money and you're telling everybody that, this is the franchise quarterback, but then you don't give him no help on the O line. You don't, secure the running back for a long-term deal, which is the best player on the damn team. So I mean, it's a lot of issues there.
So going back to your girl analogy. So this is equivalent to getting engaged, but y'all don't have no kind of structure or foundation to your relationship at all.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Perfect analogy.
All right. That's what we're doing out here in 2023.
I'm telling you, right? We had
Happens every day.
Lately, baby, we've been making a lot of good love lately, baby. Just as of lately for the last 3 weeks, and now I'm finna engage you based off of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. When you go through
Yeah.
that person's phone, it's a wrap. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's gonna turn into another podcast.
Wow, man, this is crazy, man. And so it's true, though. It is so true. That is the perfect analogy. We're putting that out there this weekend. And so, yes, fellas, a break. As I get us all up to par on notable college football matchups for this week. And so the 8 Oregon Ducks are at the 13 Utah Utes. And so it's been rumored, Simon, that starting quarterback for USC, Caleb Williams, asked for a piece of ownership. And so last week, somebody commented, hell no, not after how you played against Notre Dame last weekend. And then this weekend, I don't know what they say. They say, hell no, not against how you played against Utah last weekend. And so based off of this, his losses continue to pile up, but yet he wants ownership for the team that drafts him. And so the Bears better be aware that these are signs already from Caleb Williams. Again, 8 Oregon Ducks at 13, Utah Utes, big Pac-12 matchup. The 20 Duke Blue Devils at 18, Louisville Cardinals. And no, I'm not talking about basketball. This is a big ACC matchup. Congrats to the Sun Belt Conference's James Madison Dukes on making it to the NCAA football top 25. This is a major feat for a program as such. Other notable games include number 3 Ohio State at Wisconsin, 21 Tennessee at Kentucky, as well as Deion Sanders in Colorado at 23 UCLA. And so with that being said, fellas, let's now progress to the 2023 MLB World Series. And let us now make our picks. And so I must note that, Simon, this is a big part of the reason why you came on, brother. Prior to the MLB playoffs, I made a post, World, and it was talking about just which team in their respective leagues or what you think. And so Simon, the Texas Rangers come out of the American League, pose a very serious threat in the World Series. And now, World, here we are as the Texas Rangers are now in the 2023 World Series, and they are now 0 and have some of the hottest hitters in baseball, such as Adolis Garcia, Corey Seager, and various great pitching. I mean, Max Scherzer just balling out this playoffs. I thought he was done. And so here they are now in the Fall Classic. And so everyone was seeming to be hung up on the Texas neighbors. You guys know who I'm talking about, whom they beat in 7 games. The Houston Astros as favorites to represent the American League when nobody saw this team coming. And so we are curious to know, Simon, what did you see in this team prior to the MLB playoffs that nobody else seemed to see?
So my whole thing is everyone was talking about them towards not the very beginning of the season, but towards like the middle of the season. Everyone was just talking them, and then out of nowhere it got quiet. And I always think those teams that they come in kind of unnoticed, those are always the dangerous teams because there's no real expectations for them. Like I had chose the Atlanta Braves. Obviously the expectations were way too much for them, but I was right. I hit right on the Rangers. But my backup pick, which I didn't write, just having conversations, I told my buddy, I was like, man, I go, watching these Diamondbacks play, seeing them have their way with the Cubs, it was ridiculous. It was especially being in some of those games. That was last week of the season. Last 2 weeks, I go.
Our Cubs are getting the playoffs, right? They went through our Cubs in order to get in the playoffs. I
was like, the Diamondbacks were just playing on a whole different level, and nobody was talking about them. I was like, so I'm like, man, I go, they could make a run for it. I go, but hey, they got to beat Milwaukee. And then I definitely didn't see them having a chance against the Dodgers. And they proved us all wrong. And then the Phillies, both series, yes, 3-2, the wrong team in both games on the road and get to the World Series. But the Rangers, I just something about those teams with no expectations. There's no pressure. You're able to play freely. You play loose. You play with a little bit of a healthier mentality. You sleep better at night because you're not nervous.
Right.
The Adolis Garcia, he kind of reminds me of like and it's not like he's an old-time baseball player, but from the Tampa Bay Rays, Randy Arozarena. Just his whole vibe, his mentality, the energy he brings to that team. And then on top of that, you got Corey Seager. Dude, that team's nice, and the Diamondbacks are young players, young rookie players. It's only up for them. So
right.
I expect a really good World Series. I think Texas in 6. That's my prediction, but the no expectations, that's what I saw, because you just don't, no one's talking about you. It's a lot easier to move on by.
Yep. And we know this as Cubs fans. As Cubs fans, we know there's always pressure on the Cubs, especially prior to 2016, right? we be watching the games, we be sweating with our palms when the playoffs come, because we know we got pressure. And literally, teams come right into Wrigley Field and smack the hell out of the Cubs because they come in playing with nothing to lose. 03 Marlins, as an example. I mean, various squads, Dodgers coming into Wrigley, knocking. I mean, various years. And it's always something about this October Magic. A squad coming in to lose compared to that home team who's worked all year to get that home field. And once you can get a stadium quiet in baseball, it gets really dangerous for you. And so here we are, Texas. Nobody expected this. Arizona, nobody expected this. But it was a great game one last night. And so, Jamar, and I don't know if you guys want to make picks or you just want to say who you want to see win. So, Jamar, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm at this point. I'm not making a pick. I'm just enjoying baseball. I honestly, I don't care who wins. I just want to see good baseball, which we're seeing. Heck, for the longest part until like maybe a couple weeks ago, I didn't even realize Longoria was on the Diamondbacks. I remember that man being a monster a decade ago. So it's just great to see him, having a chance here. So I mean, I'm not making a pick, man. I'm just enjoying it.
Right. Yeah. And bro.
I'm enjoying it too. But like we always state, it's always, like Simon stated, it's always those teams that have no expectations. They play freely. And look, it's the two teams that had no expectations. Nobody seen them coming, and look, here we are. I don't think anybody really picked both of these teams to go to the World Series. And I think that's what makes baseball exciting. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Rangers. I'm gonna make a pick. I'm gonna go with the Rangers.
Yeah. I like to see the Rangers win. I'm not making a damn pick. I'd like to see them. And that's it. I will not make a pick. No. And so yes, bro.
I'll tell you what. I would not be surprised if the Diamondbacks won either, though. Like that's how, to me, that's how even this World Series is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, game one went down to the ninth inning to the very last hit. Yeah. So absolutely. Yes. Great. All right. Well, let's now progress, fellas, with our NFL Week 8 picks. Be in tune to hear Jamar's picks because some people gonna go to the casino like did a couple weeks ago. She was listening to Jamar. She's like, I'm gonna go make some bets. And so yeah. Let us get into our NFL Week 8 slate. We got some good games coming up, y'all. We got some good games coming up. Let's start with you. And we follow you, Simon, as well. And Jamal, Big Anders calling out Bo Rivera. Crazy, but they are very disappointed in offense for the Washington Commanders, as well as Chase Young and to be on the move. They're still in the uniform. Eagles.
Oh man, we flying Eagles flying around here. And I also stated before, I think it was on our boy Al's and Pal show that I mentioned that Ron Rivera. I mean, I don't disagree with Stephen A on that one. Like something got to give, But for this here, oh yeah, I'm taking the Eagles.
Okay. And
Eagles fly.
Yeah. Simon.
Is he there?
Yeah, is he there?
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know if you heard. I said I'll take the Eagles.
Oh, great. I wrote you got. I got the Eagles. Saints. Four teams. Oh, you got.
Whew. All right. Look, don't tell them 465 people this, but I'm actually I'm gonna actually take Minshew Mania this week. I just think they going to be the ones to make less mistakes than the other team on this one. I got the Colts.
Okay. Yeah. This is gonna be a good game, I think. And who you got, bro?
Man, it's a kind of a tough one. So I got Minshew Mania on my fantasy team right now. So he gave me a pretty good game last week. So I don't know if I want to.
Unexpectedly so.
Yeah, getting 4 touchdowns. I don't know if I want to pick them or the Saints. My boy Chris Olave just got arrested last week for speeding.
But they
So
look
it shows
really
me
good.
that team
They
is
look
not
really good in
focused.
that second half last Thursday, right? And they really
Yeah, just
started.
couldn't get it done.
Those, I'm like, oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the Colts on this one.
yeah.
Colts. I like the
Yeah.
Colts and I just don't see the
Yeah.
Saints.
Okay. And so this could be a very good game, y'all. How the Colts are playing in the heart they got. They look like a just a quarterback away, man. Real. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars at the Steelers. Jaguars 5-2 off to that best start in a number of years. 2017, the year they went to the AFC, and the Steelers. Mike Tomlin got that. Gorilla this past was so starstruck. She got a chance to meet my and so playing good football. Jack playing good football. Somebody got to win this game unless they got Jamar.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Steel City on this one. For what they did last week, because we all picked the Rams, and for them to travel across the country, and for their defense to really like be the difference maker in that game. Yeah, I understand that the Jags and Trevor Lawrence has been playing well this year, but I just think T.J. Watt, I think that becomes too heavy for him. I got the Steelers.
Okay. Yeah. And who you got?
Jags. Hopefully Calvin really has a good game because he's gonna get cut in my fantasy.
I'm glad you said.
I got the Jaguars in a close game. If anyone out there betting, I'm taking Pittsburgh to cover, but I'm definitely taking Jaguars to win the game.
I feel you on that.
Yeah. I got Steelers at home. Texas at the Panthers. Jamar, who you got?
My boy.
Do the Panthers come out and pull out an upset?
I know Ian Hart is like torn here.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna do you a favor. Ian. Where did CJ Stroud go to?
The Ohio State University.
Yeah, that's the team I'm taking. I'm taking the one that is the better quarterback right now that came out of that draft at this moment. I'm taking the team that has the better weapons and the better coaching, and also that actually has a win on the year. I'm taking the Texans.
Right. Yeah, and
yeah, I think I'm gonna go the same way. I'm gonna go with the Texans on this one.
I'm just gonna be different. I'm gonna see the Panthers get their first win.
Yikes!
That'd
be dope, though. That'd be dope.
No. We have an investment in Carolina. I need them to keep losing. Continue to use. Like, we don't need no Halloween theatrics here. Nothing spooky.
It might happen,
happen.
though.
Nothing spooky around here, man.
Nothing spooky around here. They gave up offensive control to the offensive coordinator now, so I can see a little change this week. Let's go. I'm taking Panthers. I'm sticking with it.
Fair enough.
All right, now I tell you what. John's going to have to play some good ball. Adam Thielen is definitely y'all because he's been pretty decent for them this year. Adam Thielen is going to have to come out and show out. Yeah. And that defense is going to have to force some turnovers from T.J. Stroud, who is like a veteran right now. This kid is definitely on the year. I Panthers, so I'll pick the Texans. Patriots at the Dolphins. Patriots the Dolphins, and so it's cool number 3. No. The last week. But with that being said, Jamar, who you got, bro, for this one?
Oh man, don't do that, Tim. Oh no, no. So I'm definitely taking the Dolphins. I'm sorry, but I don't see New England scoring at least 30 at all. And historically, New England does not fare well in South Beach. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah, this is true. They star faculty in Miami. Ian, who you got?
I got the Dolphins. I think it'll be a lot of waddling around.
Okay. Tiana, by the way, she picked the Panthers with you, so you're not alone, bro.
Thank
Tiana
you.
picked the Panthers with you. Yeah. And so who you got for this one? Just the Dolphins.
Not going with my heart.
Okay.
Gonna go taking the Dolphins. Tua will remain undefeated against Bill Belichick.
Ooh, did not
That's
know
a good
that.
stat. I never
Yep. Bill Belichick has not beat Tua when Tua has started.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane.
It is. Stated she feel like this is a trap. Like, which is right. Like this could very well be a trap game, and I mean, every trap because you can check there. He take best weapons, and so we'll see if he take Tyreek, and if he's able.
Nah, I need Tyreek for fantasy. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
So yeah, based off of this, it could be a trap game, but yeah, I think the Dolphins, but right to Falcons at the Titans. All right, so Duran Tannehill or Trasher Hill pull out a big win at home this week.
No.
So, yeah.
No, he doesn't because Trash Hill is benched. He's not playing. He's hurt. So
Oh wow, he's benched. So who is it now?
It's gonna be Will Levis.
Will Levis. They
Oh Lord.
played last week. Damn.
Didn't they say they're going to use a mix of both?
They did, but Levis gets the start. So
Okay, nice.
Okay, who else gonna be a quarterback for the Titans? Taylor Swift hurt.
Mike Vrabel gonna go suit up. Yeah, I'm not playing around with the quarterback carousel in Music City here. I'm gonna just take my chances with the Falcons. You all know how I feel. So
yeah. Well, if you guys want to watch last week's episode of Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, you could hear John his famous of Ryan Trashhill and the Tennessee Titans quarterback situation. All right. And who you got, bro?
It's not the Titans, I can tell you that.
Yeah, no love for them, huh? So I'm taking the Titans.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons. They are going through just some things right now. Hopefully that and he plays a good player. Sam, you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you think Mike Vrabel's not gonna get this team up to play for this game, you got another thing coming. I think he's gonna get this team up to play.
He better. He better. If he don't, a good team worse and worse in Tennessee, and people will honestly might stop him for a really good point here because he's been on this quarterback, and they're gonna start. Why the hell he been? Have you not been listening to the early the last 3 years?
Y'all are really calling this man Ryan Trasher Hill. That is hilarious.
Man. Like,
that's his
new
legal name. What you mean? That's his legal name now. When the mail comes, that's what it says on the envelope.
And you'll be like, why the hell have you been living in this, man, for the last 3 years? Didn't Cincinnati in the divisional round playoff tell you everything you needed to know?
Boy.
Iowa State assignment, he will get them motivated, and he has an identity, and they have an identity in Tennessee. They just missing the quarterback. Yeah.
To be fair, I think that they actually will play better with Levis.
I can see that. Yeah,
because they probably simplify everything. Lean on Derrick Henry, Taj Spears, whatever. I don't know. The defense may actually show up. I don't know. But Falcons, it is, man. I don't know. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Vikings at the Packers. Minnesota's favorite to win. Jamar, we got Minnesota.
Do I have to pick one of these teams to win this game? I feel like they're too sorry to tie. I'm rolling with empty calories in that team of the Vikings. Empty calories, Kirk Cousins. I'm rolling with that. I'm taking the one that has a little bit more polish to him. The one that actually the team that can actually make a backdoor run of a wild card spot based on their schedule and how they've been looking here. I'm taking the Vikings. Yuck.
Yeah. And I think it was cooked a few weeks ago, but this kid Addison is stepping up. And even thanks, guys. Their wide receivers have been up outside of Justin Jefferson. Minnesota goes. Who you got?
I got Minnesota on this one.
Simon?
Vikings.
I got the Packers. Lisa stated, I like the Packers. I took the Vikings. Okay. And so Lisa likes the Packers, but she took the Vikings. And so I think she's going over the case. All right. So Rams at Cowboys. I state that even though 3-4, now that Cooper comes back, offense looks fantastic, man. I mean, now this might be a game for real. Jamar, what you got for this?
Oh boy,
That might start for real.
Man, it's like I want to pick the Rams, but I know like pass rush comes and Stafford looks like a sack of potatoes out there. I'm gonna take the Rams, and if I'm a bad man, which I am half the time, I'll probably take the spread on that too. But I'm taking the Rams for this particular instance. I think I just have more faith in the Rams than the boys, I suppose.
Man, I'm taking the Rams. Rams. Game. Who you got?
So everybody knows how I feel about the Cowboys. And I have a Rams helmet tattooed on my arm. I have a Rams helmet tattooed on my arm, so I'm going with the Rams. Cowboys are going to suck until Jerry Jones lets that team go. I said it 10 years ago. You want to go look, it's on my page, and I'm standing on it.
Wait. Hold on. Time out. So Ian's a Bears fan because it's blue. He likes the Panthers because he likes Carolina blue. He got some grit in him because he likes that off royal blue. Now he got a Rams tattoo on his arm. I guess I got some blue in it.
That's because my girls' school team was named the Rams, so that's why I got them on.
Okay, all right. I was trying to connect.
But you know what? I never even thought about all of that. And my favorite color is red. That's the crazy part.
Man, I can't tell, dog. I think you're an undercover Michigan Wolverines fan at this point. I can't.
Hey, that was my dream school coming up as a kid. Believe it or not.
It's all starting to come together.
Yeah. Simon, who you got? Rams, Cowboys.
Cowgirls.
Dude, he
All
said
right.
that with confidence too.
Mm-hmm. Indiana Vincent stated Rams have a pick. All right. Lisa, who you got? You got the Rams or the Cowboys? Jets, Giants. Jets at the Giants.
Oh,
Who
Battle
you
of New
think,
York.
Mark?
I guess I'm gonna turn to the Disney Channel this weekend, fellas. I like what they got out. I like the shows these days. I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets. Defense too much for the Giants.
Yeah, Simon, who you got?
The Battle of MetLife, I will take the Jets.
We all actually got the Jets.
Cancun.
Cancun.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay. All right. All right. Good one. 4-2. Two decent teams. Who you got for this one tomorrow?
Dude, unless Myles Garrett and that defense gonna score like 2 touchdowns by themselves, I'm gonna have to pick Seattle, and I think it's just more so the quarterback play is the difference maker because I firmly believe the Browns defense is gonna show up, but Seahawks defense ain't terrible. They're not. They're actually decent against the run, sneaky against the run. I'm taking Seattle.
Mm-hmm. And think about that cover, give up a lot of deep plays that you get. They're not. Who you?
Seattle. Best secondary in the league. Kenneth Walker, touchdown machine. Gino, they call me, but I didn't write back. Is that the quote?
No, they wrote me off, but I didn't write.
They
back.
wrote me. Yeah, they wrote me off, but I didn't write back. Yeah. I'm going to Seahawks.
Simon.
And the throwbacks this week too.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
This one's tough.
It is.
Because I mean, are we gonna hear Geno Smith scream, "Oh my God!" again?
That was priceless.
That was hilarious.
And I think Myles Garrett gonna try and be on him like white on rice. But I think the Seahawks got a better offense. I'm definitely gonna take the Seahawks, but I expect the Browns to keep it close.
Okay. Yep. I think this will be a really good game. Geno, y'all know he has been the best for the last 3 weeks. He's like in a way kind of been looking like the old. And the truth is they've been relying, like you stated, on that secondary, that defense. Kenneth Walker. And also the ability to get DK Metcalf the ball whenever a crisis is in need. And so for that reason, only because they are in Seattle, which is one of the greatest fan bases in football. Chiefs at the Broncos. This word, y'all, that Swift will be in Denver. Who you got for this?
Broncos country, let's hide. I'm taking the Chiefs.
That's right.
That's high.
I like that, bro. Yeah, who you got for this one? That was dope.
Oh man, I'm weak. So I'm not gonna lie to you, Jamar. This might be the game. This might be one of those games. If we all pick the Chiefs, this might be the game that the Broncos win. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs.
I'm so ready. We can do a
I'm gonna pick the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs though. It said Broncos country last high. Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Simon, bro. Who you got for the Bears at tomorrow?
Nah, hell no. Come on, Patty Mahomes stays undefeated against the Broncos. When's the last time the Broncos beat the Chiefs? Let's be real.
I can't even.
I don't
Fantasize.
know. That's crazy to even think of.
Mhm.
Has he ever lost to the Broncos?
Nope.
Wow.
Shit, was Peyton Manning still the quarterback at the time? I don't know.
Nah, man.
But no, and that was 2015.
Right, that was a while ago.
That's-
Yeah.
I can't imagine Drew Lock beat him, even with Alex
Nah.
Smith. I gotta look.
Nah.
I'm gonna actually do some
Yeah.
research on that.
That's
I
some
don't think
research
they
right
have
there.
beat them.
Chiefs by a million.
Sheesh.
Hmm.
Still covered the spread.
All right. 39ers. Guess who's starting to heat up, y'all? As they do every year. Start off slow, and now all of a sudden they grew. They mojo back, if that makes sense. Cincinnati Bengals. 2-time deep playoff run, Super Bowl last year championship, down to the wire last year. Now, they are heating up again. They're at the 49ers slope here. Brock Purdy's not playing the best football, and it's even some people watching him. But Jamar, answer this question: who do you got, Jamar? Do Brock Purdy bounce back, or you got the man some time at the Burrow? Who you got for this one?
So here's the thing in this scenario: Brock Purdy's in concussion protocol, but 9 times out of 10, normally a quarterback a player that's in concussion protocol to this point normally don't play. But there's actual there's optimism that he actually clears today. So, so here's the thing: if Sam Darnold is starting, I'm 120% taking Cincinnati.
Right.
I'm not a believer. And I'm gonna go against my gut. I'm gonna take the Niners, but that warm and fuzzies I do not have whatsoever at the moment.
Who you got for this one, man?
Well, I go against my boy C Mac, or do I pick my boy Jamar Chase?
The Jamar guy is pretty good, just so you know.
Yeah, he's very good. Very good. Damn it. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Bengals though.
I respect it.
Jamar, who did you choose?
The Niners.
Okay. I'm going Bengals.
Okay.
Just that whole factor of they start to heat up, and then also did you find out the last time the Chiefs lost to the Broncos?
Yeah.
I have it right in front of me. September 17th, 2015.
Wow, that was Peyton Manning.
Years ago.
That's wild.
That's the year they won the Super Bowl. That is nuts. Wow.
Yep. That's
that makes Super Bowl. I'm about to say, because I couldn't imagine Drew Lock getting it done or Paxton Lynch or whoever they had at the time. So
that is nuts. That is really nuts, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I guess Broncos country. Let's hide. Because that is crazy.
Yeah. Tiana, Lisa, who do you got? Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Bengals. They starting to heat up for something. It's crazy. Actually going through a little I don't know. They're kind of going through like a little roller coaster right now. I believe they'll bounce back, but they kind of got a tough opponent in. They got a tough opponent that's proven themselves over and over again. So the trajectory says to go with the Bengals. Say something.
Yeah. Hey, Simon, do you happen to know the spread on this game with the Bengals Niners?
I do not.
But whatever it is, I'm pretty sure I'm taking the Bengals to cover though.
I can only imagine it being like 3. I can't imagine it being high.
Might end up being less than that, if depending on this Brock Purdy situation.
Right.
Hope it don't.
Mhm.
I hope it doesn't turn the other way. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you guys are good.
Yeah.
All right. And so we got the Ravens at the Cardinals. And so, is this a Cancun on
Cancun, bruh. Cancun.
All right. Yeah. We believe Cardinals. The Bears at the Chargers. Shamar, who you got for this one?
Look, I'm gonna actually go with my mind and not my heart here. I'm gonna take the Chargers. But just so you know, hey, we playing with house money on this one. And, if sweaty palms and sweaty playbook calls and stuff start to happen for the Chargers, I mean that's on them. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. Yeah. But by the way, and Lisa, we are Ravens. Niners like the Bengals. Bears you got.
Pains me to say this, but the Chargers.
I'll take the Chargers, but Bears are going to cover.
What's the spread?
Last I saw it was like 2.5. I expect it to be close.
Yeah, I can see a close game for sure. I like the Bears, guys. Bears going to LA, and they control the pace of the game. And I think the Bears
I don't know.
kind of maybe possibly did last week, which is create more controversy behind this Justin Fields and Tyson.
The only
We just always get embarrassed on national TV, so I don't know.
dude, that's another thing. Why they keep putting us on national TV right now? Like, stop it, please.
Well,
stop.
I guess to their defense, we come in with DJ Moore. We got Justin Fields. Justin Fields supposed to be his, breakout year, and you got the two young quarterbacks. So I mean, I guess they can't change it now.
You guys had expectations in the offseason,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, they can't flex any of these games yet.
Yeah.
Well, the only chance we got is they give the ball to Dante Foreman, and he actually gashes that very generous run defense of the Chargers. That's the only chance we got because we dropped back and passed 40 times for whatever reason. That's a wrap. So,
Yeah, you think you think the defensive line for the Chargers is going to be all over Tyson tomorrow?
I think the pass rush can definitely be for sure.
Yeah, they're going to have a big day because our offensive line is not the best.
I'm
saying that Justin whole he gets it out pretty quickly. He gambles, and we're talking about Madden. He got against Minnesota because we could have scored on that last drive, but just trigger happy, very trigger happy. So he was getting really fast, and that's a positive. So I think the Bears go out. I picked them to win this week. I got the Bears. Tiana,
I mix that up. It's -8.5 for the Bears Chargers.
I think I'm gonna take that. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. And Tiana and Lisa got the big wheel. And so Raiders at Lions. Shamar, who you got for this?
Oh man, where's my grit at? Where's my Dan Campbell at? Campbell's soup around here. I'm taking the Lions.
This though is Brian Hoyer starting?
I think it's leaning towards Jimmy G, but look, I put it to you like this: as long as Josh McDaniels is the head coach of that team, I have almost no reason to pick that team whatsoever.
Nope. Just get DA the ball. Give me some fantasy points.
That's it.
I mean, yeah, even if Jimmy G was playing, we probably likely would still pick the Lions anyway.
Yeah, I'm picking the Lions regardless. Too much grit over there.
Do you guys think that last week yeah, man.
I mean,
maybe a wake up call. Maybe.
Is it just the Baltimore Ravens? Is it just that the Baltimore, when they click on all cylinders, y'all? That's how good they can be.
Yeah.
I think it was I think it was a perfect storm in both facets. I mean, last week
Mhm.
I said I need to see the Detroit Lions go into Baltimore and win it before I can even say that they can. I picked the Ravens,
Okay.
but
You
I didn't
picked
think it
the
was gonna be like that.
Right.
I didn't think it was gonna be like that. But I think that was just the perfect storm all the way around. So
Right. And I think for me, it just showed me, y'all, because the 2 game lost Simon and Tiana, they should have won those 2 games. Right? Yeah, like the one for the
Mm-hmm.
receivers. Those, I
They'll
mean,
probably be undefeated.
the
They'll
Ravens
be
could be
undefeated.
7-0, and Jamar Jackson could really can. But he was been dropping the rocking ball, and it was like, man, is they going back to Ravens we knew them always to be? Dropping the ball, no receivers, no nothing. But it's very
bro,
interesting. Baltimore. I was like, okay, if they play like this, it'd be something serious. But anyway, we focusing on the Ravens. Simon, I'm sorry, you got for this?
Oh, Detroit.
Yeah.
By kneecaps.
Okay. Detroit is really good at home. They can move fast at home, y'all. There's something about the phone, no. So I'm gonna go with the
I think they're
Lions.
gonna play.
It's something about being- so yeah, Lisa said the Lions, so we want them to win, but for some reason it's fun. I totally agree. And so with that being said, we thank you all for tuning in with 8 week picks. And now we are to an important segment of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, and that is Ian's Basement. And so, Ian, my brother, what you got for us this morning as we get ready?
um, got some high school football this weekend. A lot of state playoffs start this weekend, so you know should be some real. Oh yeah, they're ranked number 12. Play Corliss actually today at 2:30, Morgan Park. Actually play Coach Brook today, which is kind of a full circle moment. You know,
Okay, yes, absolutely.
CJ coaching against Coach Brook. Yeah, it's a surreal moment. So that should be a good game. So I started a segment last week. You know what? I told you guys I'll, do different players from different sports and I'll ask you guys' opinion. So this week it'll be football. I want to go with a baseball one. I don't think I'll do a baseball one next week. Maybe like in the middle of the World Series, but I'll do a football one this week. So do you take prime AB, prime Antonio Brown, or prime Torrey Holt?
Um, for me, I take Prime Antonio Brown. Torrey Holt.
Mm,
My theory is he has a lot of receiving yards, but he doesn't have a lot of touchdowns. And I don't think he has that explosive gene. He had either something else, just too explosive, man. Such a problem on offensive end. So I'm gonna go with Prime AB. Jamar Simon, who y'all got, fellas? I got AB.
Yeah, I got Antonio Brown. I mean, his first, I don't think it was first, but it was a 6 year span to where, like, he was getting put in the likes of Jerry Rice as far as his production and his pace, as far as his Hall of Fame status. I mean, hell, the man could still probably get into the Hall of Fame despite everything based on what he's done already. So
Yeah.
his route running was second to none. His hands pretty much was second to none. And the fact the man, if I'm not mistaken, is under 6 feet as well. So just the fact that he's doing all that at that size is, yeah, I'm taking Antonio Brown.
Right. Yeah. Simon.
AB.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
AB.
Yep. That's dope, man. That's a good question, man.
yes. So this one is tough. It's crazy. So their numbers are actually like very similar, like very similar. So Torrey Holt has 920 catches, 13,000 yards, 74 touchdowns. Antonio Brown has 928, 12,000 yards, and 83 touchdowns. They have very
Mhm.
similar numbers. I'm gonna go with AB slightly, only because I feel like he still had a lot more left in the tank, and
Mm-hmm.
I think his numbers would be way. I think they'll be way better for sure. I
Yeah,
think he'll have 1,000 catches easily, probably 15,000 yards and probably 100 touchdowns easily.
right. If he wasn't a Nuggets and got influenced by Kanye West.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that takes nothing away from Torrey Holt. Torrey Holt he was very dominant in his era with a plethora of Hall of Fame receivers
Plethora
he
of
worked with.
greatest show on turf, baby.
Even
Absolutely.
even playing alongside one with Isaac Bruce. So, but I'll take AB. I'll slightly take AB.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yep. And so, yes, that was a great question, bro. Thank you for that.
Yes,
And
sir.
so, yes, now as we head into the weekend, we are now doing what we call our final thoughts and shout outs. And so, just want to go with our guest first, and then we'll go with Jamar, and then we'll end our final word. And so, as we head into the weekend, final thoughts and shout outs we head into this weekend.
Everyone enjoy their Halloween weekend. That is probably my final thought, and that will be my shout out.
All right.
Nothing's good with my Chicago sports right now.
Nothing.
Nothing's going good with New England, and I ain't finna shout out any other teams.
All right. Yes, sir. Yeah, Jamar, bro.
Yeah, I got a couple of things here. First and foremost, shout out to our guest this morning, Simon. Appreciate you for stopping by. Definitely come back in.
Thank you for having me on. I do appreciate that.
Absolutely. And I remember the days where we was playing flag football and hooping and just whatever together. So definitely good seeing you on here. All right. So two other things. Shout out to Steph Curry and De'Aaron Fox here. They had this series last year and they played again last night. But De'Aaron Fox is the first brand athlete for Curry shoe. So that's pretty cool. And then something slightly correlated to that post that I shared yesterday, the Golden State Warriors being the most valuable franchise in the NBA now. Normally it's the Knicks, and rightfully so, but now it's the Warriors. That says a lot in a short span, in the grand scheme of things. For them to get to that point, that's amazing. I think it's 7.7 bill or something like that. So,
Yeah,
that's that win, and that's having
and
those
that San
players. And
Francisco
then,
market. Yep.
come on, yeah, we keep talking business this morning. That's that business, all that, man. So it's a lot of business there. Yeah, man, that tech. And bro, final thoughts and shout outs as we head into the weekend.
Man, shout out to Simon for coming on with us today. Hope to have you on a couple more times, man. Great episode this morning. Enjoy you guys' weekend. Well, kind of a holiday weekend. For the kids. Be safe. Um, my daughter turns 6 Monday, so happy birthday to you, Imani. Love you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all I got, guys.
Yes. And world, we thank you all for joining us this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We appreciate you all's commentary and talking with us. It was great having us, etc. My brother, thank you for joining us. You were fantastic. Us with you, have you on the spooky Halloween themed podcast this morning. We had a blast with you, bro. We know you enjoyed yourself, and so we definitely look forward to having you back and rocking with us again, of course. And lastly, I just want to say a happy birthday to Ann's daughter, as well as to my wife, who made her birthday yesterday, and so we had a great time with her yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Yes. So, bro, we want to let you all know to have a safe weekend. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. Keep God first, and remember that with God, all things are possible. We appreciate you all for rocking with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast this morning, and may you all have a blessed and safe weekend. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.